Ooh. What's up, good people? It's time for another session. Oh, snap. Hold on. Ooh. Ooh. It's time for another session of that verbal cardio. Man, let me move this chair out the way. Get it out the shot. Get it out the frame, man. We back. It's been a while, man. It's been a cold while. I don't think I'm going to do verbal cardio weekly anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, man. Y'all know I got one foot out the door and one foot in on the verbal cardio, on the verbals of cardios. So it really just depends. But here we are. We back though. We back again. Shout out to my patron saints in the building. You know what I'm saying? Roberto, Texas. Shalita Willis, Simone L, Styler, G-Man, Zakiya, Savants, M. Hollis, Twisted. What's that? Twisted what? Coalescences. Be creative. New York Calm, you know what I'm saying? Crunchy Apple, Short Sax, Judge Cantrell. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me? What's up, everybody? Trey Porter, Shiv Gibbs up in this thing. Aomi, Chef Matt Owen, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We back yet again, man. I got IG in here. IG on the fence. IG. They in the live watching. But they don't want to make the commitment to join the Patreon. They just in here on the free. They just in here on the free every time, man. It never fails. Any point in time, man, it never fails, man. It's kind of light up in here today, but it's all good. We're going to push through anyway. We're going to keep it brewing. I hope everybody's hot season is starting off good. The weather's heating up. It's supposed to be June gloom in Cali right now. It's kind of cloudy, a little bit rainy today. And I hope it stays like that, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of heat. I was in Houston this weekend, man. It was hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Both of them together. A duo album, hot and sweaty. Houston was hot. And the thing about Houston, you're going to get that humidity. That's wet. Okay? They had I had some shows out there. I had 5 shows at the Houston Improv. Houston has taken the crown from Chicago for most tickets sold in the city. So shout out to Houston, man. Y'all pulled up. Y'all showed up, showed out. Energy was great for every show. So Houston is now the crown owner for the Replenish the Pockets tour. They have sold the most tickets. So I got to give it up. Now, Chicago is still over 100% moisturized because they actually bought more tickets than was available. So they get 5 lotion bottles out of 5. But Houston, you got about 4.8 lotion bottles out of 5. But still, nonetheless, shout out to Houston, man. I pulled up on Dreamcon this weekend too. Just me and Keenan rolled up for about a cool 90 minutes. We pulled up on this thing called Dreamcon. Now, if you're not familiar with Dreamcon, let me fill you in on what it is. Dreamcon is a premier entertainment convention founded by RDC World. Dreamcon unites enthusiasts globally to celebrate gaming, anime, sports, film, music, and pop culture. So that's what it's all about. And it's black. So it's pretty much like a black con for like the nerds, if you want to call them that. I don't like calling people that are into anime and comic books nerds. I don't like that. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Because, we could be nerdy about many things. But I just never felt that, sports nerds never get called sports nerds. They always call fans. You know what I'm saying? You see the different connotation there? And I say this all the time. Sports fans are way, way nerdier than anybody. Comic book, you know what I'm saying? Way nerdier. When you sit up and listen to sports fans, they be out here the nerdiest of the nerds. Yeah, he was averaging 18.6 points a game in Syracuse. That's not, now we got math in there too. Because when you think about nerds, you think about pocket protectors, calculators. So now sports fans, they know the math. They know how many assists per game, how many blocks and steals. He's guarding the perimeter. Nobody guards the perimeter like that's nerdy shit. But they never get the sports nerd label. It's always a fan. You're a sports fan. Nah, man, y'all nerds too. Get in on it. I know y'all want to be like jocks forevermore, but y'all some nerds, some dorks, if you will. Sports dorks. You're out here, you got the jerseys on, you got the paint on. You're sitting there in the stands with paint all over your body. Straight dorks. You got all the merch. You got the merch. You got it on your license plate. You're showing up. You got your lucky draws on when your team is in the big game. You're cutting off family members because, you know what I'm saying, don't call me until the game is over. Man, dorks. So I'm just tired of it only being relegated to like gaming and anime and comic books. Nah, man, y'all some dorks too. And they was doing massive cosplay at Dreamcon. Like I showed up, Brennan was there, and he was like, "Man, where's your costume? Where's your costume, Tone?" As soon as I pulled up, I didn't even know I was going. First of all, I didn't even know I was going. I forgot it was out there the same weekend I was out there. I was just so it was like, "Oh, Dreamcon, yeah." Pat was there, Persephone was there. You know what I'm saying? Roxy was there, and so like, yeah, Cleo and his brothers and sister were there. So a lot of cats that I knew was out there. So, you know, Big Jaw was there to do some comedy. But, you know, people out here, they in the cosplay. And I'm just like, oh, snap. You know, and I'm not a big costume guy. I'm not a big costume guy out here. So I just went. Even if I knew I was going, I still wouldn't have no costume. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. I still wouldn't have pulled up in a costume. Maybe. But nah, man, you know what I'm saying? I was just out here. I told Brennan, I told anybody that asked, I was Peter Parker out of costume. That's who I was at Dreamcon. And damn it, that's who I was. I was Peter Parker at school. That's who the hell I was, damn it. So I was, matter of fact, I was in costume. Peter Parker at school. And the real question is, how you going to dispute it? How you going to dispute my costume? Peter Parker wore regular clothes to school. He had his costume in his backpack. That was me all day. That was me all day at the Dreamcon, man. Watch out. Don't be coming for me, man. I had my costume on, man. I was killing it. I was fully participating in the shenanigans and the goings on for 90 minutes. And let me tell you something, man. It was a lot of love at that conference, man. Soon as I got out the minivan, and I travel around in the minivan. Let me tell you this, just in case y'all didn't know. When I go to cities to do my shows, when it's me headlining, if I travel with Kev, it's different because, you know, Kev be big spender. With me, I like to drive myself around. When I go to every city that I go to, I drive myself around. So I always rent a car. So since it's three of us and we all got merch to sell, so we each got 3 suitcases apiece that we travel with. So I always get a minivan. You know, I don't want the big SUV. I feel like the minivan serves its purpose better and it's cheaper. So if you see me in random cities, you're going to see me get out of that minivan like a family mom every time. I travel like a soccer mom on the road. So if you're looking for anything flashy, anything, man, Tony doing it. No, I'm not doing it up. I'm doing it up soccer mom. So give me the mom jeans. Just give me the mom jeans right now because that's how I'm traveling. In the Chrysler minivan. Anyway, so when we pull up to Dreamcon, it's crazy out there. Parking is wild. As soon as I got out the minivan, I was taking pictures with people. As soon as I got out the minivan, walking to the convention center, I was taking picture after picture after picture after picture. I was just like, well, damn. And the thing about me is I'm going to take that picture. If you want a picture with me, we gonna take it. I'm excited that you excited to even know who I am. So I'm double excitement. So I'm gonna tell you, if we make eye contact and you want the picture, guess what? I'm taking the goddamn picture. Yeah, I can't turn you down. Once we make eye contact, I can't turn you down, man. So it was picture after picture up in that conference, man. Picture, I couldn't move 5 steps without getting another picture request. So that was shocking to me. I was just like, wow. I was just like, well, damn. So I was taking mad pictures as Peter Parker. And then Brennan was like, but you're not, Peter Parker's not black. I was like, this is what we doing? Because he had on a Dragon Ball Z outfit. I was like, you not whatever that dude is. I forget who's the dude in the orange in Dragon Ball Z with the orange jumpsuit. He's like the main guy. Goku?
Yeah, I don't think he's Goku though.
Who wears the orange outfit? They say Krillin or Goku. Whoever wear that orange joint that you just associate with Dragon Ball Z. That's who Brennan was. But I know whoever that was, he ain't black. So let me get my Peter Parker at school, damn it. Let me get it, let me have it, let me hold it. So Dreamcon was amazing. What I will say about Dreamcon, energy was incredible. Everybody seemed happy to be there. Like you can tell they were excited, happy, they were in their element, they found their tribe. The energy was incredible, man. I like seeing happy blacks. It's just in all their cosplay, excited glory. I was like, this is beautiful. I was only there for 90 minutes, but I was like, yo, this is absolutely beautiful. I'd love to see it, man. So I was like, man, this is incredible. And the conference is growing every year. So it's just amazing to see. So if you ever get a chance to go to Dreamcon, just go check it out, man. Go have fun. Throw a costume on. You could do the Peter Parker at school like I did. And just go take it. Just be around that kind of energy, man. That kind of excitement and like, it's so wholesome, man. I was just like, man, look at blacks having a good time, enjoying themselves, man. I loved it. So that was an amazing experience. And the shows in Houston were absolutely amazing. So shout out to everybody. If you're listening and you came to the show, thank you so much for buying a ticket, getting the babysitter, making the drive, buying the drinks, just everything you did to come see me. I appreciate it. And that goes for any city that I've been to, whether it's Nashville, Chicago, Raleigh, whatever, wherever I go and you come, thank you. I appreciate you. And I hope y'all laughed and had a good time, had a good old time. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that off. I'm gonna leave it off. But let me pay some bills real quick. Let me pay these bills, man. Now, life doesn't happen bi-weekly, y'all. So why should payday? That's a valid question. If life is happening out here on the daily, what's up with this bi-weekly stuff? You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. So since it doesn't happen bi-weekly, why should payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with EarnIn, okay? EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays. Just download the EarnIn app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $150 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. All right. Now, if they would have this when I was working at Dairy Queen, man, or if I was working in Inmersh, man, oh man, that would have saved me, man. That would have took a burden off my soul. Time slows down when you're waiting for a 2-week paycheck. Not a lot of people know that. They talk about all this physics stuff and the speed of light, and time is a construct. And you want to see time slow down? Set somebody up with the bi-weekly payday. Time is just gonna go. It's gonna slow the hell down. But with EarnIn, you ain't got to worry about all that, man. You know what I'm saying? If anything comes up, a special night out, last minute gift for a loved one, unexpected trip to the vet, upcoming rent, new dress, school clothes, shoes. What happened to me yesterday? I had to get a new battery for the car. EarnIn would have been perfect for that, man. A new battery for the whip. I had to get my battery died in the bank parking lot. I was like, really? You gonna do me like this? So I just went, bought a bag of cherries and just waited on the man from AAA to show up and be like, man, just give me a jump. And then I went straight to the dealership. EarnIn can help you with stuff like that, man. So make EarnIn a part of your financial routine and join EarnIn's over 4 million customers who say things like, when I think about earning, I think about financial stability, security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. So download the EarnIn app today, spelled EarNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in Verbal Cardio under podcast. When you sign up, it'll really help the show. That's Verbal Cardio under podcast. EarnIn is a financial technology company, not a bank. Cash outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. My bad. See the cash out user agreement for details. Service is not available in all states. All right, man. Get in on that EarnIn. You feel me? So I had y'all hit me with some topics. And I already touched on one. Somebody asked me about Dreamcon. I already did that. Zane Montego said, I don't know, when I see you in a suit, I think Lex Luthor. You got an intimidating villain look about you. Do y'all agree? Do I have a villain look if I had a suit on? Y'all let me know. Look at me right now. Do I have a villain look? Could you imagine me sitting there plotting your downfall? So y'all are saying yes in the IG Live. Let me see what y'all are saying up in here. My boss, I can see that. No, I like the suit. Until you smile, yes. If you aren't smiling, yes. This is fantastic. I know I just ruined it by smiling, but this is fantastic. The fact that y'all can see me as a villain, knowing how silly I am, knowing that I'm funny, knowing that, I got a baby smile, knowing all of this, and y'all still be like, yeah, I can see the villain. This is amazing, man. As an actor, this is absolutely amazing. I'm glad y'all can see me like that. That means I can play in different pools now. You know what I'm saying? I could be the funny sidekick or I can be the main villain. This is absolutely incredible. The range, exactly, man. Home on the range. This is incredible. Thank y'all, man. Casting directors, man. Y'all heard them. They can see me as a villain, man. Get me in the villain roles, man. Get me up in there. So back to the Diddy trial. I haven't got the latest updates on that crazy mess that's going on. But the Cassie stuff was like the main focus early on. And man, Diddy is just, this dude is wild. For what he was doing to this girl, man, the mental and physical warfare he unleashed upon Cassie is just pure diabolical, dog. What are you doing, bro? Crazy. P. Diddy and the fam, who do it better. This dude was absolutely diabolical. I remember when Cassie first came out, she had that song, she had that video where she was dancing in front of the mirror. Boo, doo 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 doo. And he just, He was just ruining this woman. Behind the scenes, like I knew they was together, but that's all I knew. That's all I care. I ain't really care. I was just like, oh, okay, Cassie, yeah. Not knowing what people are going through. Just this dude is wild. Wild. And then here's the thing about guys like this, guys with this amount of money and power and influence. They always got some cohorts. They always got somebody else they throwing up in the mix to, whether it be, call her and tell her you need to pick her up, and then I'm gonna be in the back of the whip waiting. Setting Cuddy's car on fire and just being in his crib when he not there, being in somebody else's crib. Why they not there? And security just going along with it. Security just like, all right, this is what we doing. Whatever you pay me for, I'm going to do. Whatever you pay me for, I'm going to do. Wild. But this whole Diddy trial is highlighting something far deeper and more diabolical. The disconnect between, not even the disconnect, but you see in real time when it comes to the Cassie situation with Diddy, when it comes to the Meg Thee Stallion and the Tory Lanez shit, you see in real time men and women are at war. When you look at the comments of what a lot of men are saying, and some women, it's alarming how much women don't get. How much men don't give a fuck about women. It's alarming, dog. It's impossible not to see. Once you go into the comment section, you just like, yo, y'all really outside of like guilt or innocence, outside of any of that. It's crazy to see. Let me tell you, when it comes to women being assaulted, it happens. It's real. They not making it up. I challenge you to do this. Men. All the women you know, talk to them. Ask them, has anything like this ever happened to you? Now, granted, they don't have to tell you their business if they don't want to. But what I found for me personally, a lot of women that I know that I've had conversation with have had an experience of some sort with assault. It's a lot. And the vast majority of them didn't say nothing. They ain't press charges. They ain't do nothing. They was just like, yeah, it happened. The vast majority. Just on regular conversation, the vast majority. So I guarantee you men out here, they out here lying. Ask the women that you know what they've gone through. It could be your mom, your aunt, your sister, your cousins, people you went to school with, women that you have dated. Talk to them. If you think women out here making this shit up, they lying, they playing victims, have a conversation. And unfortunately, I'm willing to guarantee the vast majority would be like, this happened to me. And then I want you to look them dead in their face and just be like, you lying. Because that's what you do so easily in these comment sections. You think everybody lying. You think everybody making it up. And I got pulled to the side because I did like a post about saying that, I believe the real victims. And I got pulled to the side and was like, no, when you say real victims, you're highlighting a very minuscule fraction of women that do lie. And so it's just unnecessary to even throw that in your post. And I didn't look at it that way. I was just like, because I wanted to extinguish the bullshit that was coming after my post. Because I knew the dudes gonna be like, man, they be lying, they be making this shit up. But they brought that point up, and I was just like, oh shit. Because now with me saying that, it diminishes what I said before that. So I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that. So I took it down. But, my heart was in the right place. I guess I just worded it wrong. So I was just like, oh, all right. Because at first I was like, what you talking about, man? I did that to offset what's coming next. Because I already know the response. I already know y'all going to come with the bullshit. And so I was just like, I was already like, yeah, we get it. Some women have lied before. But it's such a minor percentage that it's just like, and then you get to thinking about the women that you know, and men. Let's not act like only women get assaulted. It happens to men too. So talk to people, man. So many people haven't experienced that, haven't said a word. They ain't went to no authorities. They ain't told nobody because they know the type of bullshit they got to go through on the other side of it. Just do that, man. Just talk. Stay out the comment section. Get off social media. Connect with the people you know in real life, in real time, and just ask them. And hopefully, you will gain a shred of compassion for people that are really going through this shit or have really gone through this type of shit. So, get off social media, man. Unplug. Get out the comment section. Because it's just alarming to see. It's just like, man, this is some real horse shit going on out here. Some big, thick, robust horse shit. And let me ask you this, man. What's the difference between horse shit and bullshit? Which one is harder hitting? Which one hits harder? Will you just be like, man, this is pure horse shit? Or, man, that's bullshit. This is bullshit. I feel like the horse shit is worse. Because I feel like when you say horse shit, that's when you just fed up. You don't want to hear it no more. This is absolute horse shit. You're lying. Bullshit, you lying too, but bullshit, man, they just bullshitting around. Oh, I'm just bullshitting. You can put like so many different spins on the bullshit. But I feel like the horse shit, though, that's when it's just, this is pure horse shit. I don't know, man. The shits just feel different. In my eyes. I don't know if I'm tripping. I don't know. Elephant shit, that don't even sound right. This is pure elephant shit. Nah, we trying too hard. Let's just stick to the bullshit and the horse shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, IG Live. I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting y'all off. If y'all want to see this uninterrupted, join my Patreon, man. You ain't got to get the cut off. But I got to cut y'all off. They over here like, man, cut the feed. I gave y'all like, I don't know how long we've been running, but I gave y'all a lot of time. Oh, shit. I gave y'all 28 minutes of pure podcast. So, join my Patreon, man. You ain't got to miss a beat. Quit being cheap, y'all. I know you got $5 a month. Don't be acting like you mad broke. You just don't think I'm worth it. That's what it's all about. Boom. Hit the bricks, y'all say. The side pieces. I gave him 28 minutes. My bad. It was long. I'm sorry, man. I've been gone for a while, man. Back up. Watch out, man. All right, let's see what else y'all talking about in here, man. Top 5 horrible casting choices. I think that might be a good topic for the Ball brothers. Wait, let me send this to Kev. Top 5 horrible casting choices. That could ruffle some feathers out here. Somebody, Ernest Lee said, cancel culture versus accountability. Where's the line? When does it become hate disguised as art? I'm confused on this question. I'm confused on that. What is hate disguised as art? I'm confused. Somebody asked me this. This is for my movie heads. Cousin Bob sent me this. If you had to be in one of the losing gangs in the Warriors movie, which would you choose? Yo, I'm going with the gang that wore the baseball uniforms. And I think they was on skates. I'm going with that gang. That gang right there always stood out to me when I was watching the Warriors. So I'm gonna go that gang. Because I think they wore the baseball uniforms and they was on skates. First of all, that whole combination is crazy. You out here with the baseball uniforms on with skates? Like what? How these two coming together? What baseball uniforms got to do with skates? And I get it. It was the 70s, man. Skates was in. But the baseball, how you gonna fight effectively in the skates? Like you can't get no firm stance to get your boxing up. You got to come in hard. You got to skate in. You got to skate in and swing that bat. And if you miss, hopefully you got enough distance created from the skate pass to where you don't get hit in the back of your head or something like that. But you ain't got no real leverage to stand on if you end up boxing. And then if we get you in the grass, you're done. Or we hit some gravel, nigga, what you gonna do in that gravel? You're done. But the whole aesthetic of that, yes, I can skate. The whole aesthetic of that was just mad funny. Oh, snap. Somebody brought up a good, bad casting choice. I'm going to bring it up. We still might do it on the Ball Brothers, but I'm going to bring it up. Somebody brought up a good one to my attention. And matter of fact, it's crazy that she brought it up because we was talking about this weekend, me and Keenan. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman wasn't a good casting choice. Even though the first Wonder Woman was a good movie. I won't take that away from the first Wonder Woman being good, but for me, she never gave me Wonder Woman vibes. She never gave me Wonder Woman vibes, man. She's attractive, sure, but she's like model attractive, where it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Thin, long. Wonder Woman is supposed to walk into a room taller than most everybody in the room, including the men. Taller than everybody. And you're supposed to be like, she's supposed to walk in like a epic, tall warrior. Just like, God damn. Who the hell are y'all? Man, we Amazon, man. Watch out. Watch out, man. Serious business. She need to be swole. Not swole, you know. And we were talking about this. It was a deeper conversation that we talked about. But we feel like when they cast these comic book characters, action roles, I feel like they won't let the women bulk up and muscle up. Like when you think about the castings of like, you know, Chris Evans as Captain America, he bulked up. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, ripped to shreds, bulky. They hit the gym and they bulk up. If they're gonna be in an action role, they be in the gym, they get ripped to shreds. Chris Pine got in shape. But I feel like they want to keep the women thin and like, all right, let's keep the women thin. Even though she can lift a car, she can throw a Volkswagen at you, but she's just gonna be regular bodied. Let these actresses bulk up. And here's my counterpoint. Here's my counterpoint to that. I was like, okay, in the mind of an actress, right? Let's say she gets the role of an action, you know, a comic book character. She puts on the muscle, right? Then that's gonna harm. It could potentially harm her getting casted in something else if she's too buff. So it's like, yeah, you know, you playing this this character in this drama over here, you're gonna be too bulky. And so we were just like, well, damn, they might lose out on that opportunity because they went too hard in the gym. Where it's like the men don't have that same, You know what I'm saying? That same dynamic. You know, Christian Bale, you know, for The Machinist, he got down to like, it looked like he was like 90 pounds in The Machinist. He was a skeleton. And then right after that, he bulks up for Batman Begins. So I feel like it's unfair to the actresses that they can't properly bulk up to be these superhero characters, strong and just swole and just like, you know, Viola Davis hit the gym and to work out for Woman King, or like, you know, Angela Bassett has those arms. That's why I feel like she would have been a good Storm back in 2000. But when it came to Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, it was just, and she was one note. She was one note. She was just one note as an actress. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah. Even though that first Wonder Woman movie worked, the casting, it was just, I don't think she was right for the role. And I don't even know who could have been Wonder Woman. I don't know. But I know Wonder Woman needed to be built like Serena Williams. Prime Serena Williams with some extra height. That's how Wonder Woman needed to walk up into a space. Just cock diesel, man. This Wonder Woman is strong, y'all. And I need to see that reflect just the same way we look at Superman. When Henry Cavill got cast as Superman, he was ripped to shreds. He was Muscle McGee. He came in muscle for chest first. Wonder Woman need to be looking just like that. Maybe a little bit leaner, but still just like coming in where we just like, yo, man, we got to be in wonder of this woman. Soon as she step on the scene, we got to be like, oh, snap. Oh, who the hell is this? Who just walked in, man? We got to be looking at her just like, God, what they doing over there in Amazon, man? What y'all doing on that island, man? Don't worry about it, sir. We living our lives, man. So, yeah. Christopher Reeves wasn't buff for Superman, though, but he wasn't small. He wasn't thin. When you look at Christopher Reeves, he was a bigger guy. He wasn't flimsy. And you know, back in the 70s, man, they had different workout plans. The muscles didn't really get defined and ripped to shreds until like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger hit the scene. That's when it was like, oh shit, muscles. But Christopher Reeves was no scrawny dude at all. I feel like for the actresses that play superheroes, they just come in with regular. And I want to say this too about the movie industry in Hollywood. Y'all always got actresses thin. They got to be slim all the goddamn time. Everybody's slim on the actress tip, especially on the dramatic side of things. Because yeah, they'll cast like a bigger, you know, actress for a comedy or whatever. But I feel like for the dramatic pieces and stuff, everybody thin. But when you look at real women, man, it's all kind of shapes and sizes out here, man. Where the curvy actresses at leading a dramatic film, man? Where the curves at? Where the hips? You know what I'm saying? Where the stacked up top at, man? Sometimes they got booty out here, man. These real women, man. They bodies be all over, man. Everybody just ain't thin. But I feel like they always go, hey, let's go petite every time. Let's go petite and slim. Where the curves at? Where the thickness at? Where's the multiple shapes going on the leading lady tip? On the love interest tip. What is? I want to see it all. I want to see it all. Big titties, little titties, medium titties, A, B, C, and D cups, double D, whatever. Because that's what I'm seeing in real life. Women get all kinds of different shapes and sizes out here, man. Put some booty cheeks in the lead role, man. Let them lead a film and still be booty cheeked out. What you think is going to be a distraction? You think we can't focus on the plot and the storyline because we like, damn, boy, she got cheeks. Nah, man, I'm going to tap back. I'm going to see it and tap back into the story. Because on the other side of it, when a man is ripped to shreds, you know what I'm saying, got this crazy body, y'all still pay attention to the movies as women. You know what I'm saying? They out here, you know what I'm saying? You could tell they've been in the gym hard, you know what I'm saying? But they still get the lead films. So I just want to see a better distribution of different women bodies in lead roles out here, especially on the dramatic tip. I feel like they get more experimental with the comedies, and they'll just be like, all right, you funny, so, you know, we'll take you as you are when you funny. But even, y'all mentioned Jill Scott and Queen Latifah, but even producers and people behind the scenes have told them, you got to lose weight. Queen Latifah just talked about that recently, where she was just like, they told her to lose weight in the living single days. You need to lose some weight. For what? For what? That's Khadijah. What Khadijah need to lose weight for? For what? You know what I mean? So that's my little 2 cents on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what else y'all was talking about in here. Let me see what else y'all was talking about up here. I already touched on the Dreamcon. Dream Poet asks, do you really enjoy doing other people's podcasts? Who would be your ideal guest on Verbal Cardio? Which is the favorite pod you've been on lately? My favorite pod that I've been on lately is Comedy Underground with Spank and Lou Williams. That's been like my favorite one here recently. I loved every molecule I was on that show, man. It was a great time. The vibes was great. They're great hosts. The back and forth, everything just worked on that podcast. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you get on podcasts and the hosts just want to hear themselves talk. Or, you know, or they got like whack questions, or it's too businessy. Like, so how'd you get your start? And it's just like, you know, it's too formal. But with that, because I already knew Spank, that was my first time meeting Lou Williams, but you wouldn't even know that because the vibe was cool. And so that was the most fun I've had on the podcast where I was a guest in a long time. I had a great time with Two Bad Moms. Am I forgetting the name of it? The Bad Moms podcast. I love being on that one too. I had a great time there. But yeah, I do enjoy being on people's podcasts. And I just be like, yo, man, let me in. Sean Stockman from Boys to Men has a good podcast that I want to be on. Good Moms, Bad Choices. They were fantastic. I had a great time on that one. I had a good time with... I usually have a good time on a lot of different podcasts, especially if they have a unique angle and stuff like that. Yeah. In my dream guest, you say my ideal guest for Verbal Cardio. I want guests on Verbal Cardio where I can dig into their brain on like how they did what they did. You know what I'm saying? Where I can nerd out on them. Of course, Eddie Murphy, because I feel like Eddie Murphy's storytelling is just crazy. And I know he would have some funny, every time he tells a story, it'd be funny as hell. So I just be wanting to like I know Keke Palmer would be fun as hell to have as a guest. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I would love to have him on Verbal Cardio. Neil deGrasse Tyson, fantastic. Here's the thing too, y'all. I'll be watching podcasts. A lot of y'all can't host. You talk too much. You be talking over the guests. It pisses me off every time. You answering for them. They giving the answer. You all up in there, man. Shut up. Let them talk. Let them cook. They're the guests. You got every week to be talking. Let the guests get the words out, man. Hush. And I feel like not everybody has the hosting skill. You can't be cutting your guests off, man. Let them get the shit off. Now, granted, some guests are short, they just don't say a lot. They answer the question and then boom. So, okay, that's fair. So that's when you got to jump in and be like, boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow, But a lot of times they be talking like, so tell me what it was like for you growing up in such and such. Oh man, growing up in such and such was like, cause it is like that out there. Let me get my thoughts out. Let me get my story out. So there's a skill to hosting that a lot of these podcast people don't have. And it's just like, I'll be pissed off. I'll be like, why'd you cut them off? Stop cutting off the guests. Let them cook. Let them marinate, man. I need to have more guests on here. Here's why I don't have a lot of guests on Verbal Cardio. I don't like asking people for stuff. I know I'm a decent host. I'm a decent listener. That's why I consider myself a decent listener. I like to let you talk. I like to let you get your shit off. Because y'all know I can't stand people talking over one another. You know I can't stand it. I can't stand it, y'all. People talking over one another makes my nose bleed. But the reason I don't have as many guests on Verbal Cardio is I don't like bothering people, man. I don't be like, can you do my podcast? You know what I'm saying? And I know there's a lot of people I can reach out to, but I'll be like, man, I got to schedule it. And then it's tough. It's tough, man. But you podcast people, man, if you're listening to this clip, if this is a clip, whatever, shut the fuck up, man. Let your guests talk. Let your guests get their shit off. Okay? That's all I ask. I think I'm bothering everybody when I ask them for stuff. People that know me in person, man, I don't be asking y'all for a lot. I don't be asking people for a lot. That's why I be minding my own business. I don't even like people asking me for stuff. And I'm more inclined to help people that don't even ask. I just be listening. I'll be like, oh, yeah. And if they never ask me nothing, I'll be like, boom. So yeah. So that's what I'll be wanting. In my mind, I'll be wanting more guests because I really want Verbal Cardio to grow. But I don't like asking people for stuff. A lot of times people got to bully me into asking for help. They be like, Tony, man, I'm going to do this for you. I'm like, no, don't do that for me. I'm doing it. No, don't do it. I'm doing it. All right. Just thank you. And I'm mad appreciative, but it's like people have to literally just be like, Tone, man. This is what Mishi is the perfect example of that. She does the timestamps for my clips now. But she was just like, Tone, I'm doing the timestamps. I'm like, nah, man, because you know what I'm saying? I'm doing the timestamps. But me, you don't have to. I'm doing the timestamps. And I'm just like, all right. Okay. Because I hate doing the timestamp. So she took it upon herself to do it. So it's stuff like that. When I ask people to do stuff, I'll pay you. I feel better about asking people for stuff if I put money in your pocket. Because at least it's like, all right, I'm paying you. So anyway, there's that. Oh, somebody mentioned Canada 82 mentioned black fatigue and how behavior and people are two totally different things altogether. I don't know if I'm kind of confused on that one. What's black fatigue? Hold on. Also, is it by BL Creator said, we want to hear your thoughts too on AI. Daddy Issues crew having a lively chat about creativity versus artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence topic honestly bores me. Like, I know it's creepy. I know it's out here. I know artificial intelligence is what everybody's talking about, and you don't know what's real and what's fake. But the conversation of it bores me. I'm like, oh shit, that's artificial intelligence. Oh, all right. And then, cause you know, I'm team creative. I'm team human creativity. That's me. But then when you find out what's, AI and stuff like, and people having a ball on chat, GBT or whatever, using the hell out of that, I'm just like, y'all really excited about this. And the only reason I even asked about chat GBT is because they were the ones making those Mount Rushmores. And I was just like, hey, I want to make some Mount Rushmores. But then other than that, I don't be on there like that because I really don't give a shit. That's probably why, the latest Mission Impossible, it was good, but I was still just kind of like, man, it's just artificial intelligence. It's creepy. I get it. I get where it could go and, how it can be creepy and how it could, shatter a lot of different things. I understand that, but it's like, it doesn't interest my mental. Like that. We need another supernatural episode. Yes, I'm always down to do a supernatural episode. I feel like the supernatural episodes never do numbers though. I feel like people be tuning out when we talk supernatural stuff. Because y'all know I love the stories. I love a good supernatural stories, man. Let's see what else. I'm looking at all y'all. We got some this or that's. I'm gonna do this or that's on the rapid fire tip. All right, John Carpenter or Wes Craven. I'm going. So if you're not familiar with John Carpenter, he directed The Thing, Halloween, Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., Vampires, Big Trouble in Little China. Wes Craven, you have Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street. It's Cloud Bark on that. I'm gonna go with John Carpenter. Because Big Trouble in Little China is like my favorite movie. And The Thing, to me, is the scariest. The Thing is scarier than anything Wes Craven has done, in my opinion. So I'm going John Carpenter. Because the Halloween music with Michael Myers, the goddamn Big Trouble in Little China, The Thing, I gotta go John Carpenter. He also directed They Live, John Carpenter. No disrespect to Freddy Krueger, no disrespect to the Scream Mask, but John Carpenter, baby. Sean Connery or Pierce Brosnan or Daniel Craig. So this is a James Bond question. Who's the better Bond? Connery, Brosnan, Daniel Craig. I gotta be honest. I don't be going back and watching the OG James Bond movies like that. Once they was doing karate chops and basic fight choreography, it's hard for me to go back to that. So, I started really focusing in on James Bond. The Roger Moore era, I was like watching it with my dad, but I was like, oh shit, they got a car that's in the water. Like it was like this water car, and I was just like, oh shit, Roger Moore. And then the Timothy Dalton joints with the Living Daylights and License to Kill. I was like, all right, the action was more modernized. So I was like, all right, this is cool. And then by the time we got to GoldenEye with Pierce, I was like, see, I saw Pierce Brosnan as James Bond for a long time when he was on Remington Steele. And I was just like, yo, he needs to be Bond. So when he finally became James Bond, that's when I was like, yeah, But then Daniel Craig, now we get into the gritty, current, modern action vibe with James Bond. But when you think about who James Bond is and supposed to be, just smooth with the ladies and just like suave, and has a certain look about him. I don't know. I might still lean Connery, man. But Pierce Brosnan, though. Because Daniel Craig, as good as those movies are, he don't always give me James Bond vibes. He just looked like a spy. A good one, though. And the action be dope, but I don't know if Daniel Craig ever gave me James Bond. I feel like he just gave me some other spy. But Pierce and Connery gave me James Bond vibes for sure. So now it's good. Man, give me Sean Connery, man. Just put Connery in the bag and let's get the hell up out of here. All right. Airplane versus the Naked Gun. Ooh, this is tough. Airplane or Naked Gun? Damn. Airplane was firing on all cylinders, man. They was going for the jugular on the jokes. They ain't care who they offended. Airplane was just like, man, the jokes. If you offended, fuck you. But the Naked Gun, man, the Naked Gun was so well done. Leslie Nielsen is in both of these movies, but he's just so funny as Frank Drebin, dog, because he be so serious. That's the key, how serious he be. Just pure silliness, but he be dead serious. I might have to lean Airplane slightly because Airplane, the amount of jokes in there that hit, I might have to go Airplane. And the way I laughed when that little autopilot inflatable dummy, that whole scene with the inflatable autopilot dummy was absolutely insane. If you've never seen Airplane, and she was inflating that dummy, so it looked it looked like he was getting head in the cockpit. I'm gonna go Airplane. Airplane, man. Airplane me up. All right. The slap line, it was just like, it was jokes on jokes on jokes on jokes in Airplane. So, all right, Airplane. Sade or Anita Baker? Sade. Sade. You know what I'm saying? Sade beating everybody musically. If we talking from a music standpoint, whoever you put Sade up against, Sade. The Who or Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin? I'm going to go the Rolling Stones. Give me them. Probably because I feel like I know more. I feel like I know more Rolling Stone songs than the other two. The Lost Boys or Fright Night or 30 Days a Night? The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys is one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. 30 Days of Night, though, has some of the scariest vampires ever put on screen. I will say that all day long. 30 Days of Night, those vampires were terrifying. But The Lost Boys is just encapsulates a certain time for me. And it was just the best. So I'm going to go with The Lost Boys. 8 Mile or Hustle and Flow? I'm going Hustle and Flow, man. Hustle and Flow is a better rewatch for me. I know you got to Lose Yourself and you got better songs overall, but Terrence Howard's performance is above Eminem's for me. It was more compelling for me. It was funny. It was just like, damn, man, he out here. I felt the desperation. 8 Mile was serious business. I'm going Hustle and Flow. Beat Street or Crush Groove? Beat Street, man. Beat Street was serious business, man. Beat Street, the king of the beat. See, you're rocking that beat from across the street. I'm going Beat Street for sure. Easy. Menace to Society or Juice? Okay. Now we're getting tough again. Whew. This is tough. Menace to Society was just epic on all fronts, man. That was gritty filmmaking. That movie shattered your soul when you saw it for the first time. When I saw that in theaters, I was just like, yo, man. That movie rocked me to my core. I was just like, damn. You know, it was an energy when we left the theater. Everybody felt like they was on edge and just ready for the smoke. And then Juice, you had a dope core ensemble of 4 actors. And then it was an epic showcase for Tupac Shakur. But Menace to Society was also an epic showcase for Lorenz Tate. Because if you got Lorenz Tate versus Tupac Shakur on the acting tip, I think they neck and neck in terms of like impact. Although I will say O-Dog was scarier than Bishop. And I'll tell you why. Bishop's sharp turn wasn't believable for me. I know that we had a shorter time period to work with in Juice, but his turn was too sharp from where he was at in the first half of the film to what he turned into after one robbery. It was too jarring for me to believe. I understand he has his like crazy background in his family or whatever, but the level of love that he showed his friends in the first half of that movie, for him to completely flip like that, it just become this cold-hearted killer of his boys. I never fully bought it. I was just like, yo, why all of a sudden he want to kill these niggas with no remorse? And then when he did kill Raheem, he didn't sit in that long. That's your guy. So I was just like, I'm not fully buying this. Like we didn't get enough build up for him to turn into the Bishop that he ended up becoming. And that flip was just too crazy for me. O-Dog was scarier because we didn't know O-Dog's background. We didn't know how he came up. We didn't know why he became this homicidal young maniac. We just guessed it was the streets. It was the environment. It was what everybody was doing. But it was so much mystery involved in O-Dog to where we like, yo, this is who this dude is. He don't give a shit. He'll blast you. He will blast you. This is how we introduced to this kid. I don't give a damn, man. Y'all will get blasted on sight. And I feel like when it comes to characters, oftentimes they're scarier when I don't know enough about you. Like you think about Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men, he was terrifying because we knew nothing about this dude. We didn't know no weaknesses, no origin story. We don't know why he was the way he was. We just knew this dude gonna kill you. And O-Dog was like, yo, man, he gonna kill somebody pretty soon. He ready for the smoke. So I feel like those characters are neck and neck. It was just O-Dog was scarier than Bishop to me. And Bishop never scared me. He never scared me. But But Tupac's performance was fantastic, though. Regardless of these notes I just gave, the performances in Juice was fire. There was some suspect acting up in Menace to Society on certain actors, but certain actors they were delivering. O-Dog delivered. Charles S. Dutton delivered. Samuel L. Jackson delivered. Glenn Plummer delivered. Jada Pinkett delivered. Clifton Powell delivered. Bill Duke delivered. Here's where one comes in front of the other. The first half of Juice gave me a great feeling. That's going to be the deciding factor for me. With them just hanging out, being young, being black, being friends in Harlem, that first half before the robbery gave me a great feeling like, yo, I like these guys right here. I want to hang with these guys. I want to do this. I want to do that. That first half, everything before the robbery, even the DJing contest, the little glimpse into their family dynamic, Q with his brother, Q with his aspirations to be a DJ, Raheem being supportive of his friends' dreams. You know what I'm saying? Steel helping Q steal records, and then Q running interference. Just that little stuff like that. I feel like I love that first half of Juice. So I'm going to give Juice the edge here, and I'm going to go Juice. Sorry that took so long, but it was a tough question. All right. Well, Boys in the Hood beats both of them, if you want to know. All right. Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise? Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks be getting my heartstrings, man. Tom Hanks be tapping into my soul. Tom Hanks. Leonardo DiCaprio or Jake Gyllenhaal? Leonardo DiCaprio, man. I'm gonna go Leo. Jake is dope as hell. Jake is fire. But I'm gonna go Leo. All right. Mark Hamill's animated Joker or Heath Ledger's Joker? Ooh. That's kind of unfair because Mark Hamill's animated Joker has a lot more real estate to work with. Because he was on a series. So we got more time with him. So it's kind of unfair to compare the two because, you know, that Joker has this many episodes over this many years. Heath was a one and done. So it would be a better comparison to compare him to another movie Joker. So I'm going to opt out of this one. Corey Haim or Corey Feldman? Corey Feldman was my guy. I love both Corys. You take Corey and the Lost Boys and Lucas, but Corey Feldman and Friday the 13th, Stand By Me, The Goonies, even though I saw it late, The Lost Boys, bless you, License to Drive, they were both in. I'm going Feldman, though. Feldman, I wanted to be him. He was the guy for me. Anything Corey Feldman was in, I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to be the Frog Brothers in The Lost Boys. You know, but both Corys were dope. They were dope as hell. I really like both Corys, and I liked how different they were. But Corey Feldman, because Corey could tap into those dramatic beats. When you take his character in Stand By Me, and then you take his character in The Lost Boys, and then you take his character in License to Drive, or you take his character in The Burbs, I'm going Corey Feldman, man. So yeah. Anyway, that's a long episode. That's a good time. You know what I'm saying? I love the this or that's on this one. I appreciate my patron saints. Thank you for coming with the topics and all of that good stuff, man. Y'all are great producers of the podcast. I guess we can talk guests moving forward. For sure, Chloe Franklin. That was a good this or that's. Butter, I want to thank y'all for hanging in there with me, being here, being patron saints, being a valued member of this this podcast. I want to say too, we're recording Ball Brothers episode. This is for the patron saints. I can say that off air. Anyway, If you are in the city of New York, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Austin, Texas, or Detroit, Michigan, or Washington, D.C., those are the cities I have left for the Replenish the Pockets tour. Get your tickets early. Again, Detroit, Austin, New York, D.C., Jacksonville, Charlotte. Get your tickets, man. Don't play with me. And thank you for tuning in to another session of that verbal cardio.